Hi, I'm Chef Brooke Brantley, and today I'm going to show you how to make some really special dishes that have one common ingredient. And the common ingredient in all of them? Potatoes. Our next dish is potato spice cake, which sounds a little bit weird, but it's really not. The first thing we do is preheat the oven to about 350, and while we're collecting all of our ingredients, we want to put a bag of the McCain purely potato whole babies into the microwave for about 15 minutes. So while those are cooking, we're putting everything else together, and we're going to start with our spices. We're going to add that to the flour mixture, and then some baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And we just want to stir those together a little bit. Okay. We'll take our potatoes out of the microwave. Be careful removing the bag because it is hot. And it has a nice little zip top, so we can just zip it right here. And we want to pour about half of these potatoes into the bowl of electric mixer. There's about 20 or so of these in a bag. So once you have 10 or 12 in the bottom of the mixer, then you're in good shape. We'll reserve those for another recipe, and we want to use the paddle attachment on our electric mixer. Essentially, we're going to make a little bit of a mashed potato here as the base for our cake. So what we want to do is make a little bit of mashed potato in there. We want to try to get all the lumps out, and this looks pretty good. So we're going to take these out so that we can put in our sugar and butter and cream those. So again, our potatoes are nice and hot. And then into the same bowl, we're going to add sugar and a stick and a half of butter. We'll cream those together, which will give us a nice base for our cake. And we want this to be nice and fluffy. Woo! Our butter and sugar are now creamed together. They're nice and fluffy. We have 3 egg yolks, and we want to add 1 yolk at a time. There's 1. And we just want to stir these in very slow until they're fully incorporated. And then add the next one. Just want that mixture to be very nice and smooth. And then the last one. Then once this is all blended together, we'll add our potatoes back in. Okay, so that looks good. Starting to look like a cake batter now. In goes our potatoes. Let's blend all this together. And the great thing is, once this is all mixed together, you won't even notice that little bit of skin that's on the outside of the potatoes. So in goes some of our flour, roughly half. And we want that to get thoroughly blended. And then we've got about a half a cup of milk here. We'll add part of that until it's nicely, smoothly mixed. And we'll add the rest of our flour. And the last of our milk. Once we take it off of here, we'll scrape down the bowl, make sure that it's nice and smoothly blended, and then it'll go into our prepared pan. You could use a 9x13 pan, you could use a bundt pan. Anything that you have around this cake will work perfectly in those pans. Okay. Add this last little bit here. Smooth the batter around the top. And we are all set to go into our oven. So our cake's been cooling for about 15 minutes. It should be cool enough that it's going to slip right out of our nonstick pan right onto our cake platter. So if you're using a smaller plate, this is easier, but we're going to go big time on this one, and we're going to turn it upside down. And we're just going to flip this right on over. And if it falls on the floor, who's going to know? Oh, that looks really good. We'll mix up a little icing, probably with about a cup of powdered sugar and then 2 or 3 tablespoons of milk. And we'll put that glaze right on the top. So there you have it, a fun, delicious, and good for you dish that will impress your friends and even your children.